Welcome back and welcome to another book versus movie video. Yes, I'm ready to talk about Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan versus the movie, which just came out on Friday. I obviously knew that I was going to watch this movie and do a book versus movie, so I read the book. I read the first 100 pages of the book as a paperback, and I listened to the rest of the book as an audiobook. So I kind of got a bit of both. So yeah, obviously I have my Enchanted Fandom's Book Brew cup of tea here because just back from the cinema. Probably Yorkshire tea. Yeah, just back from the cinema, having seen it for the second time. Yes, I have seen it twice, and just going to put it out there, I preferred the movie. Oh my goodness, controversial, I know. But the whole time I was reading the book, I don't know if it's because I knew it was going to be a movie, and if I'd read it 5 years ago when it first came out, I wouldn't have done this. But the whole time I was reading the book, I was thinking, oh, this would look great on screen, and oh, this opulent description would be great just seen as a single shot in the movie. I found the book very description heavy. It almost reminded me of your classics like your Jane Austen, with the descriptions of the rooms and the people and the chairs and the cars and the parties. It just, I mean, obviously there weren't cars in the Austen books or Dickens, but yeah, it just reminded me of that when I was reading the book. And I'm glad I switched to the audiobook when I did, because I was getting bogged down in the description when I was reading it, whereas when I was listening to the audiobook I could almost kind of like, you know, switch off a little bit to the description. And also I listen to audiobooks on double speed, so I felt like the movie definitely did that better, because rather than having paragraphs and paragraphs or pages of description of a person and how they fit in, or of a party, or of an outfit, or of a situation, we could just be shown that on the screen. And also the opulence and the richness of things can be described in a book all you want, but because we're talking about crazy rich stuff, people like me, who doesn't have a lot of money, they're not going to be able to picture something that they've never seen before, whereas seeing it on the screen, you can see it and you're like, oh, that's what that looks like. Also the food. Now, the food was done really well. The description of the food in the book made me hungry and just made me want a load of dim sum all the time. But seeing the food on the screen, oh, it was so good. The particular scene where they go to the, like, get the street food, like the street food market, the vendors there. This, I mean, when they talk about it in the book and when they're arguing about where the best thing is, that's great. And when you see it on the screen, it's so cool, because you get to see like the busyness of it and the fact that Nick is speaking all these different languages to all the different vendors. That's really cool to see, and I thought they did that really well on screen. Also, the end, in terms of differences, the ending of the film is quite different to the ending of the book. Obviously that's not, I'm not going to tell you either way, because I don't do spoilers. Obviously I don't do spoilers, but yeah, I found the ending of the film and the ending of the book quite different. The ending of the film felt very much like, yeah, this has been marketed as a romantic comedy, and so we've got that kind of satisfactory romantic comedy style of ending, again not telling you what's happening, whereas the ending of the book is marketed as a rom-com in a certain sense, but it's not marketed the same way as, for example, I'm trying to think of a book to movie adaptation. Let's go with like Sex and the City, the way that was, or Confessions of a Shopaholic, or Me Before You. It's not, the book wasn't marketed in that same way. Again, I don't know how it was marketed in the States when it first came out, because I wasn't over here then, but it wasn't marketed in that way in the UK. And so I think the book, although it is definitely a bit of a rom-com, is marketed more as just, you know, general fiction, and so I think that's why it does have a different ending. I really thought that let me think, Astrid's story in the movie was quite different to Astrid's story in the book. That's probably where I noticed the biggest difference. And I don't know, so I haven't read the other 2 books in the series. I would like to read the other 2 books in the series. If you've read them, leave me a comment and let me know whether you recommend them or not, because I don't know a lot of other people who have read all 3 books in the series. And I don't know if the second one is going to be made into a film, because at some points it almost feels a little bit like Astrid's story is going to be taken further in the future, and I don't know if that happens in the book, so let me know. But yeah, I felt like her story was quite different in the film than it was in the book. I loved her as a character in both, but yeah, I felt that it was quite a different, yeah, whether her story perhaps just doesn't adapt as well to the big screen, or it needed to be changed because of that rom-com marketing that it had, I don't know. I love Oliver on the screen as much as I love Oliver in the book, not just because I'm married to an Oliver. So if Oliver was one of your favourite characters in the book, then you are not going to be disappointed on the screen. And the wedding, Araminta and Colin's wedding, is like so much more opulent on the screen than I pictured in the book. I thought that, yeah, again, we've got the description in the book and obviously that's wonderful, but seeing it on the screen was great. Obviously I've gone to see this film twice. I do recommend it, and unpopular opinion, but this time I really feel like the film was better than the book, and I would even consider seeing it again, maybe when it comes out on DVD, or maybe I'll end up going and seeing it again in the cinema with a different set of friends. Who knows? I've seen it once on my own in a quiet cinema, and once with people, with friends, with other people in a full cinema, and the reactions of the crowd really did add something to the second lot of experience, I can tell you. So yeah, without giving too many spoilers, because I don't do that, I think the film was better. Most of it was adapted really well. I thought Astrid's story was very different. The ending was very different. Also, the beginning bit with the hotel in London, I thought that I would have liked to have seen more of that on the screen. That scene is very long in the book, and I get that it's already quite a long film, but I would have loved to have seen a little bit more of that, because I just thought that that scene was hilarious in the book. So yeah, I was glad I'd read the book for that scene, because not much is made of it in the film. It's still there, it's like a prologue still, but yeah, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more Eleanor Young in action, going for it, and yeah, seeing a bit more of an interaction between the children like we had in the book. But yeah, so yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as I say, if you've read the other 2 books in the series, please let me know whether you'd recommend them or not, so I don't waste my time if they're not very good. But yes, I will be back with another video soon. I have so much to talk about at the minute, so many books and boxes and book to movies. I've got lots that I film that I haven't put up yet, so make sure you're subscribed so that that lands straight in your subscription feed. Please give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it, and I will see you with another video very soon.